University. This is our documentary video about tourism in Vietnam. So let's get started. Tourism is a major economic and social significance that has been recognized in both developed and developing countries. Tourism is the temporary movement of people to destinations outside the normal places of work and residence. As you know, travel and tourism are one of the world's largest industries, and of course, Vietnam is the same. Tourism in Vietnam is a component of the modern Vietnamese economy. In 2018, Vietnam received 50.5 million international arrivals, up from 2.1 million in the year 2000. The Vietnam National Administration of Tourism is following a long-term plan to diversify the tourism industry, which brings foreign exchange into the country. Tourist arrivals in Vietnam have continued to rise in recent years. In 2008, Vietnam received 4.218 million international tourists. In 2009, the number was 3.8 million, down 11%. In 2012, Vietnam received 6.84 million tourists. This was a 13th increase from 2011 figure of 6 million international visitors, which was itself a rise of 2 million visitors related to 2010 arrivals. In 2016, Vietnam welcomed 10 million international visitors, which represented a 26th increase from the previous year. Tourism is a popular industry to develop local economies in the world. Apart from development of the economy, tourism also can bring many advantages to local government and residents. Meanwhile, developing tourism also brings many negative effects for local residents and the environment. Vietnam is filled with captivating natural beauty, amazing archaeological wonders, and delicious cuisine too. Discover tradition and history in Vietnam's charming rural villages and see the dynamic new face of nature in the hubbub of its thriving cities. With so many amazing places to see, it's hard to choose which are the essential must-see. So, before understanding more about the benefits and detriments of tourism in Vietnam, let's take a look at some famous places that attract lots of tourists in Vietnam with Ngọc Thư.
Most travelers to Vietnam are attracted by the country's wonderful natural beauty, from the green rice in the field in the north to the fascinating bustle of the Mekong Delta in the south. Vietnam, however, is also a country with a long history and Asian tradition. It has many historic attractions and old temples. Here is an overview of the most amazing tourist attractions in Vietnam. So here is my top 5 recommendation. First is Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng National Park, boasts many attractions, but none of those is so popular as its cave. Phong Nha Kẻ Bàng cave are made up of hundreds of cave systems, many of which are large enough to hold entire city block. The biggest and the most notable is Hang Sơn Dong. The gateway to this cave is Sơn Trạch, the growing village that is home to several transport links throughout Vietnam, local restaurant and meeting point for guide tour to the cave. Number 4 is Nha Trang. Nha Trang is Vietnam's most popular seaside resort town, located along the second most beautiful bay in the country. It features beautiful beaches with fine and clean sand and clear ocean water with mild temperature. The city has about 300,000 citizens and is more lively and urban in character compared to another beach destination like Mũi Né or Phu Quoc. It's also the scuba diving center of Vietnam. Number 3 is Mũi Né. Mũi Né is a formerly little inhabited beach town of the fishing village of Mũi Né has been some serious development in the last 15 years due to the strong sea breeze as its popular destination in Vietnam for kite and windsurfing. No trip to Mũi Né is complete without a trip to the famous sand dune located in the short distance now of the town. The vast sandy expanse provides some great panoramic views, especially during sunset. Number 2, we have Phu Quoc. Phu Quoc is located in front of Cambodia coast. Phu Quoc is the largest island in Vietnam. Phu Quoc is what Phuket would be like if it had been overrun by development. So the whole island is really wide. The island features pristine tropical forests, undamaged coral reef, and great beaches. One of its beaches, named Bãi Đãi, is chosen by ABC News as one of the top 5 beautiful and clean beaches. Phú Quốc is famous for producing the best nước mắm or fermented fish oil in the world. And the last recommendation, which is Ha Long Bay. You might know this one. Yes, Ha Long Bay is located in North Vietnam, around 132 kilometer long coastline, and is literally translated as Bay of Descending Dragon. The top tourist attraction in Vietnam, Ha Long Bay, features thousands of islands, each topped with thick jungle vegetation, formed with a spectacular seascape of limestone pillar. Several of the islands are hollow with enormous cave. Other islands include lakes and some support floating village of a fisherman. So that is my top 5 of Vietnamese tourist attraction.
Today, the higher lies the more demand of tourism. Therefore, developing countries focus on investing in the tourism sector, including Vietnam, improve infrastructure to introduce beautiful, famous places to the world. It helps our country not only closer to others, but also to make a lot of benefits to our government. For example, Ha Long Bay, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, impresses millions of tourists each year. This famous place will attract tourist investors, increasing foreign currency, make like opportunity to develop tourism in Ha Long and in Vietnam to develop economy of our country. On the general level, tourism activity have the effect of changing the place of revenue and expenditure of the country. International tourists bring foreign currency into the country with a tourist destination, increasing the country foreign currency revenue. In contrast, the share of foreign currency will increase for countries with many people traveling abroad. Within a country, tourism activity disturbs the movement of money and goods, regulating capital from the economic zone to the developed economic region, stimulating economic growth in the remote area. Another benefit that the tourism industry brings is to contribute to solving employment problems, because tourism-related services require a great deal of labor. A typical example of this is when tourists from our country come to Vietnam, they would have the opportunity to do chopstick, enjoy traditional meal and go sightseeing in the countryside. Second, the increased number of foreign people coming to visit another country will evidently enhance tourist industry, contributing greatly to the wealth of that country. If tourists enjoy that trip, they will recommend the destination to their friends, or perhaps they will come back in the future. In conclusion, tourism is becoming increasingly important as a source of revenue to many countries, but its advantage should not be overlooked.
Okay, so you can see the benefits of tourism like Quang talked about, but is tourism destroying the cities? You know, residents of some of the most beautiful cities around the world has been protesting against tourism, and there has been anti-tourism violence in some places like Barcelona, like Venice, and many other cities. So now I will tell you 4 ways that tourism can affect on the cities. First is overcrowding. The second is bad behavior. Third is pollution. And the last is rising price. Let's begin with overcrowding. Vietnam is a country with 95 million people, welcome nearly 15.5 million visitors per year. And on our screen, you can see this picture telling about overcrowding. You can see overcrowding has an office affect our traffic, food space, queues, and it can also affect the city culture and identities. Tourists also bring with them pollution and waste. They consume heaps of water and foods, while causing of environmental damage to destination. A few years ago, Binh Ba Island in Khánh Hòa, Ta Nhai Beach in Quảng Bình, Nam Du Island in Kiên Giang. There's a beautiful natural landscape, but when have more tourism come there, and after that, the only thing stay with them, that is pollution. Trash appear everywhere, on the beach, on the road, as a near place where people live and children play. Not only this, some newspaper telling that cruise ships that bring thousands of tourists each day are damaging the local environment with engine pollution and water displacement. Tourism even account of 8% of global greenhouse gas emission, mainly from transportation. And then there is issue of tourist bad behavior. There are many viral videos that show tourists behaving inappropriately, from the airport checking meltdowns and assaults on a cabin cruise. You will no stranger to the image that tourists paintings on the monument, riding without a helmet, wearing a gym short in street. All of these are ugly action of a section of a tourist. And the last is rising price. You can see a different price between a place have more tourism and place not, especially when it's come to a short-term rental like with Airbnb, an accommodation app where users can stay their home with a tourist. It has grown enormously with over 5 million lodgings across 81,000 cities. But here is downside. Landlord in major city makes more money out of short-term lease on Airbnb. But you know what? It's forcing a local tenants to pay more.
So as you see, in the future, tourism will be more popular and important in Vietnam and all over the world. It will bring a bigger business and more employment opportunities. As a result, developing tourism is a very important industry in the world. With tourism developing, the local education level and cultural communication skill will be improved a lot. But in the meantime, it also brings many negative effects and very serious problems to the environment and local resident lives. It affects the local residents' normal lives with a big noise and environmental pollution. Overall, the most important thing is considering how to protect the environment and have a good awareness of environmental protection. As a consequence, we can promote the advantage and limit the harmful side, thereby making this industry grow stronger and better. So, that's all for our documentary about tourism in Vietnam. Thanks for listening.